All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Forward Thinking Founders, where we talk to founders about their companies, their visions for the future, and how the two collide. Today, I'm very excited to be talking to Miri Buckland and Ellie Buckingham, who are the co-founders of The Landing. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Hi,
Great.
thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you both on and learning more about what you're working on. For people that haven't heard of The Landing, what is it? What are you both working on?
The Landing is a social design platform that empowers everyone to create together. This is pretty different than what we started off building, but what we're building towards right now is basically a shoppable Canva meets Pinterest. So imagine Pinterest, but free the grid, not structured, ultimate flexibility in kind of visual mood boarding format, but different than Canva in the sense that designs are around actual shoppable products. So we are building a design tool and a shoppable kind of social platform on top of that.
So this is cool because it's like blending multiple big things into like a new thing, which is always exciting. So walk me through a little bit about like the user experience of if someone came across The Landing, came across the product, like what that would look like, what they would experience, and I guess paint a little bit of the user experience for me. So I wants to check it out.
Yeah, well, definitely come and check it out. It's a lot of fun. So right now, when you come onto The Landing, you can get started by creating an account and logging in, and you'll be brought into our canvas area. So what we call a canvas is this kind of like digital mood board. And in that mood board, you can add shapes, you can add different colors, you can add items of furniture or decor or like other products or art that you want to put in your mood board, and create this really vibey kind of design that you can then share using a shareable link with others. And so it's all about giving you the kind of creative freedom to express your mood, your designs for a space or for anything really in your life. And one of the coolest features that we just added is the ability to upload images. So you can upload a photo you've taken yourself, you can upload a screenshot of a couch that you really love that we don't have right now in our product, or just anything that really inspires you. So we've seen people taking the product in really cool directions, whether it's creating, a mood board of the last weekend they had, or whether it's a mood board of a future dream home, or whether it's a mood board centered around art and stuff that they've really recently discovered. So we see people using it in a lot of really inspiring ways, and we're really excited about how the community will kind of build from here.
So walk me through a little bit about the origin story here. Why did you both decide to work on The Landing and kind of get started with this company?
Yes. So a little bit of background on myself. I basically consider myself a 50-50 right left brain split, studied art and economics, worked in finance for a bit, but have had a lifelong interest in interior design and aesthetics and the way that we express ourselves visually, both two-dimensionally and three-dimensionally in our spaces. Miri and I met when we were at business school at Stanford, and we were kind of obsessed with the problem of furnishing and creating three-dimensional space. I was coming at it from the perspective of the designy best friend, and Miri from kind of the customer in need who had moved 20 times. And we originally set out to build an end-to-end furnishing solution. So we had a thesis that our generation, instead of a design service, really would want a self-serve tool and collaborative design tool. But at the time, we were thinking about kind of the end-to-end process of furnishing. So we set out to build this thing that would both allow you to design spaces, but then also purchase everything for them and move you into your space. COVID hit. We were not able to be in people's apartments, but it was actually like an amazing forcing function to give us a second to look in the mirror and think about what we actually wanted to build and what was actually kind of the magic part of what we were thinking about. We were thinking about like a ton of different problems at the same time. And this kind of design tool and collaboration component of what we were building was really kind of the most interesting to us to work on, and where we were seeing the most signal from initial user testing. So we really focused on the design tool. We launched the MVP of that last summer. And from it, we learned that people want a much more social experience around design. Everyone in the product asked to see other people's designs. They asked to see their friends' designs. They asked to be able to remix from other people's designs. And so the kind of experience of people using the platform has informed where we're really heading for 2.0. And actually just last week, we launched our updated version of the product. So it's been kind of a winding road, but I think in some ways we had to start with the problem of furnishing to kind of get to the bigger problem that we might not necessarily have gotten to had we not driven U-Hauls around for a summer.
What is one or two things that you've learned kind of along the windy road? I think a lot of people think tech is just this thing where you have an idea, you start a company and it fails or succeeds, and like that's kind of what you try. But it's way more complicated than that, like way more complicated. So I'm curious for you, like as you've gone on this path, COVID hit, all hell broke loose. Like what have you learned kind of on the journey so far?
Oh my gosh, where to start? I think we would need like hours to talk about that. But I think like kind of to Ellie's point, I think we really learned to appreciate kind of just deep curiosity and the original perspective we had that was like we should just always be super 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 close to our customer. We should always be listening and always like moving and adjusting and reacting to their feedback. And so like kind of to Ellie's point, like we backed into this much bigger problem of building a contextually rich visual shopping environment by trying to solve a problem of furnishing. And we could never have predicted that this is where we would end up. But what we learned by trying to tackle something really specific as furnishing was that, that there was a much bigger problem that we wanted to solve and that we were really passionate about solving. And the only way we did that was by living through the kind of furnishing journey with people and by driving those U-Hauls and being in their apartments when we were setting up their furniture. And so I think one of the biggest lessons for us is really just like consistently being so close to our customer and being in their shoes and kind of like living their lives with them, which is, I think, something that we are really focused on kind of keeping going as we grow as well.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you sharing that, and as you look out, into the future for the landing, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, what do you see as the big vision here, at the end of the road or end of the day, what could this look like once it gets massive? And I guess in other words, like what's the big vision and what direction are you rowing in?
Our vision for the landing is the contextually rich visual environment where you have the ability to both project an aesthetic point of view and personality and interact with the community and shop and have a like super, super rich social, visual, creative experience. A really interesting thread that has stuck with us through the pivots of the landing has been this really deep-seated belief that creativity is not something that you're either born with or not, but it's something that is empowered and cultivated and really created in communal settings. And for a generation who has been pigeonholed into specific talents and you're good at this or you're not good at this, I think there's been a pretty big gap in the sort of like childlike wonder of creative output and creating for creating's sake. And so like our long-term vision is really creating a, no pun intended, a positive, collaborative, creative, social environment that is contextually rich and personality rich and empowers commerce as a kind of an output of that emotionally rich environment.
The only thing I would add, oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go for it.
The only thing I would add is that just to be super clear, we obviously started out with the home vertical and we started out thinking about furnishing, but we are already seeing people expanding how they use the landing much further beyond that. How you create visuals and express yourself visually across, whether it's like makeup or books or like, your weekend or whatever it is that you want to express. And so we see it broadening much more. Much further than just furniture, and also see kind of the community aspects of it around sharing designs, having conversations around designs and mood boards as being a really important part of the future vision.
Yeah, one thing I align with a lot is, almost everyone is lost, like you mentioned, like this like childlike wonder for the world, like it's all like gone. And I'm here, I just like every single day I talk to founders, like dozens of them, and I'm just like, how can, it's just, I feel like all I have is this like childlike wonder because I just see the future every day, and I just like really align with the fact that that's gone generally, and we should kind of bring that back into the world. But in order to make that happen, you'll need some help. It takes a village to make a startup work. So my question for you is, how can the forward-thinking founders community help you make it happen? Are you hiring? Are you raising capital, looking for partnerships or users? How can we assist?
Oh my gosh, all the above. Well, not fundraising right now. We actually just announced our seed round led by Cowboy, which we're super excited about. But we can use any and everyone to come check out the landing and play on the tool. We are hiring right now in engineering and product design. So come to the landing.app and check out our careers section. Our team's growing, so super excited about that as well.
Congrats on the fundraise. And if anyone missed it, and this is just the format, so I always have to ask, if anyone missed it, where can they find you online? What's your website? Do you have social media handles, email address if you have one? How can someone get in touch if they're interested?
Yes, definitely check us out on the landing.app. You can email us at hello@thelandinghome.com, and you can check us out on socials at The Landing Social.
Great. Well, thanks for coming on to the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. It's been awesome.